Before we dive into today's mailbag, if you are unable to watch our live shows, my DMs are open on Twitter. You can hit me up and ask me about the NFL. I much prefer it to the nonsense crypto spam crap I get on Twitter these days. So hit me up on Twitter at What's Going Downey for any and all NFL questions that you may have. We'll put that Twitter link, by the way, in the comments section and the description of today's show. From Lore, who should replace Jake Moody as kicker? I will make note, we do our mailbags on Tuesday evenings. The news so far has been that Eddy Pinerio is going to work out for the 49ers. I would assume he's the guy. I would say also, big picture, don't lock yourself into anybody. It's a tough spot to be when you're making a post-week one change. Everyone saw this coming in San Francisco. I think we had Jake Moody replacement questions last year. It's not a surprise that this has been the case here. I think next offseason, set yourself up for some more success and have a competition without investing too much in one player. That's why you hung on to Moody for so long. From the Bright Wolf, just says Michael Penix had a great game. I was very impressed by Penix. And we just mentioned the kicker for San Francisco. Look, Michael Penix deserved to win that game. I thought he outplayed Baker Mayfield. The touchdowns don't say it, but he had two huge scrambles on that final drive to literally extend full body by inches and keep his knees up and inbounds, everything. It got the ball to the 50-yard touchdown catch by Bijan Robinson. Maybe helps juice the numbers, but got the ball to Drake London. Pitts had a pretty solid game. He was making plays in the moments where he had to. I liked what I saw from Michael Penix. It's a shame that Younghoe Koo doinked the extra point, or I think he just missed it out right there. They should have won that game. I will give Atlanta a ton of credit, and I think Michael Penix, if you're a Falcons fan, there's reason to have hope about him as the franchise QB. From Johnny Football, hopefully not that one. Will the Giants trade Kayvon Thibodeau at the deadline? I think it depends on what the Giants' status is. Their schedule, again, is not exactly easy. They play the Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Broncos, Niners, Bears, Packers, Lions. And that gets you to around Thanksgiving. That is a gauntlet to begin the season. The Giants have, I think, the toughest schedule in football. It's based on what we expect them to be. If the Giants are struggling, come Halloween, they might do it. But are they going to have the assurances from ownership that they're not going to get fired? Because trading away Thibodeau is a good player. You might be getting an asset for the next guy, for your replacement. That NFL decision makers make those decisions based on job security. How do I help save my job? If they think trading Thibodeau is going to help them get fired, even if it's in the best interest for the franchise, they might not do it. But I do think this is a name to monitor because they've invested a lot in Brian Burns, and they obviously have Abdul Carter. I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. Over or under 10.5 trades before the NFL trade deadline. So O for over, U for under. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Marcos, man, Chiefs and Vikings. Well, first off, good job for the Vikings. Not so great job for your Chiefs there, my friend. Thoughts about the Vikings' comeback win over the Bears? It was incredible. It was such a good game. Very well done by McCarthy and O'Connell. I didn't mention this in our Week 1 takeaways. Coaching matters, guys. That final kickoff to help ice it, essentially, to save that extra 40 seconds of game clock, 37, whatever it would have been. To have Ty Chandler know the plan and have him look at Kevin O'Connell and say, come on out. You're not worried about the 10 yards you might lose. Those 37 seconds were more important, 40 seconds, whatever it ended up being timing-wise. Coaching matters. I think Kevin O'Connell is a fantastic coach. Gaming Wizard. Who was the most impressive rookie? Ooh, okay. I'll try to shout out just some of them from Week 1. Obviously, plenty of players. I thought Travis Hunter was fun on offense. He's going to have some good stuff. I thought Armand Membu had a good game for the Jets. He held his own pretty well there. Tyler Warren looked pretty good for a few stretches I saw. I thought Gray Zabel had a good game too for Seattle. Shamar Stewart flashed. Emeka Ibuka is probably the right answer among most of the first-round guys. He had a really good game for Tampa. Looks like he's going to be a future stud. One more name, and I know I'm going first-round guys here. Jahad Campbell was awesome for Philadelphia. The stuff he's able to do in coverage is going to maximize Zach Bond, and it's you're stacking on top of each other. It's you're just, It's 5Xing it now instead of just the 2X numbers you normally got there. Other quick names, I know Will Johnson had a good game for Arizona too. I thought he had a very strong performance. So lots of good impacts from rookies. It's a long season. They got plenty of time. Today's show is made possible by Ethos. As a father with one kid and a second one on the way / due any day now, trust me when I say life insurance matters. It's not fun to think about what would happen if something happened to you, but you do need to be prepared. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry, and it's more affordable than you might think. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. There is no complicated process, and it's 100% online. No medical exam is required. You just answer a few health questions and get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. From Rico Dowdle Worshipper. What a fun name. Should the Cowboys trade for Jaelan Phillips to help out the pass rush room? I think you can take this beyond the Cowboys. If you are a team that is in the market for pass rush help, Miami's going to be a team you call. They've got 4 guys that can play, and they're not going to trade chop Robinson. That organization might decide, hey, we should probably get ourselves into position to sell some guys that might not be with us next year / get young assets. They're kind of light on that. The Phillips contract is kind of hefty for a guy who has had a tough time staying healthy over the course of his NFL career. But if you're in the market for a pass rusher, like maybe the Cowboys are, Phillips or maybe Bradley Chubb, they just redid his deal. It's even more complicated. Those are names I think you could certainly consider. The Dolphins fire sale is not out of the range of possibility. From Zombie Queen, should the Panthers trade for Anthony Richardson? No. You are trying to develop Bryce Young. You don't have the time, the man hours, or really the asset management to try to develop Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson. The way you maximize Richardson right now is wildly different than the way you maximize Bryce Young. If the answer is not Bryce Young, I think you're better off trying again in the draft or with an established veteran and not another cheap lottery ticket, but one that you're not going to overinvest in. You're just kind of diluting your own pool, and now all of a sudden you put yourself in a spot where hey, he's almost out of a contract. Is he our guy or not? That's what happened to the Cowboys and Trey Lance and other teams in that bucket. Fresh slates with a longer contract or an established vet. We'll see if Carolina ends up being bad at the deadline. I don't know if they make the most sense. Miami might be one. Which NFL team is most likely to have a fire sale at this year's NFL trade deadline? Let me know in the comments section of today's show which team is most likely to have a fire sale at this year's trade deadline. From Zombie Queen, Cleveland should start Shedeur. If you believe in Shedeur Sanders, I am not here to judge you at all. I totally get it. It's not what the Browns are going to do. The reality situation here for Cleveland is this. Joe Flacco played pretty well. Not his fault that the Bengals are making dip drill interceptions. They should have won the game with Joe Flacco. They're going to ride with him for a little bit, even if he's not a long-term answer. Dillon Gabriel was drafted before Shedeur Sanders. He's going to get the next crack. I would not be surprised at all this season if Shedeur Sanders ends up getting a chance to play this season. That would not surprise me in the slightest because it could be a weird year in Cleveland. But I don't think they're making that move in the near future, barring injuries. So prediction, how many games this year will Shedeur Sanders end up playing? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. From Christian, how do you think Aaron Rodgers did? You think off this game, Rodgers can make the Steelers contenders based on what we saw? I don't want to... It's the Jets. I don't want to freak out, overreact one way or the other. I do think that Rodgers played a pretty darn good game. There weren't a lot of crazy big-time throws, but a bunch of touchdowns. He was generally accurate. Didn't really put the ball into harm's way very much. Like a little high on the pressure to sack rate. That's a red flag for me. But you score 34 points. I'm willing to bet you did some good stuff, and that's despite the fact that you didn't really get DK Metcalf going the way I think they're going to be able to once they don't have to go up against Sauce Gardner like each week. I think Calvin Austin showed some good stuff. I don't know how good the Jets actually are, but I do think it was a very good first week for Pittsburgh and should build some confidence. Also from Christian on the Steelers. Thoughts on the Steelers signing Jabril Peppers? Think that he's going to play well with Pittsburgh? I think so. I don't remember if it was it you or was it somebody else who suggested the Steelers go sign Jabril Peppers on one of our recent mailbags? I forget who it was. Deshaun Elliott's banged up. I think he and Juan Thornhill fit pretty decently. Like I think Peppers is kind of best hanging out around the box. I think he could be a really good fit for them. Got to stay healthy, be better than what he was at times over the past couple seasons, but one of the best available free agents. I'm a fan. Now, if you want even more NFL news, rumors, everything else all season long, do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/chatsportstv for more free NFL YouTube videos. D. White the Gamer. Thoughts on the recent news of the Broncos selecting Burham Yard as the preferred site for a new stadium in Denver. I would be lying to you if I told you I know where Burham Yard is in Denver. I've never been to Denver in my entire life. I'll say, I don't have anything good about like the location as I zoom out on Google Maps right now. Like my big point is this: don't make the taxpayers pay for it. Like they shouldn't have to. Like this should be paid for by the Walmart owners. They got more than enough money. You want to build a dope-ass stadium? Sweet. Please do. I bet that's going to be awesome. But don't make the taxpayers pay for it. I don't think that's fair at all. Rant over. A $5 super chat from M.A. Football Guy to wrap up the mailbag. Thank you very much, Big Dad Bod. Me too, buddy. I got to say, Fields for the most impressive Week 1 performance. Aaron Rodgers close second. I think all the new QBs starting their first game had a very impressive performance, or at least reasons to have some confidence in them. Cam Young was still a little bit streaky, but showed some good promises there. Daniel Jones, his best game in how long? I think everything overall, like Fields, Rodgers, Geno, they all look pretty damn good. I don't know if there's a wrong answer for that particular question. So thank you very much for the super chat.